All right, let's talk geographic farm and how the event strategy is going to help you crush listings in 2021 and beyond. So let's do a deep dive on this. I've spent the last couple of years looking at what are all the different event strategies that would allow us to connect deeply with some of the neighbors in your community and to be able to leverage the relationship capital, which I talked about in that previous video, is the secret ingredient to success. And so I have been thinking about this, talking about it. My top agent mastermind group's been talking about it. We're looking at the 2021 business plan. We're looking at the marketing plan. We're trying to figure out, okay, how do we do this thing? So, we've got right now, it's January of 2021. So we got COVID and shelter in place. So we kind of got all these additional variables. So I was like, man, like, how do we do this? Like, what is going to be the game plan? So I've been talking to everybody about it, and I've come up with some great strategies that we need to discuss right now. So let's take a look first at the kind of foundation. Then we're going to look at the different ways that we can run events, from simple ones to more elaborate, and the kind of timing and how we put it all together. So let's get to work and let's create some incredible results for you in Geographic Farm. So number one, the basic event strategy is just designed around the law of reciprocity, meaning just doing something for someone else to where they say, thank you, and they feel obligated to contribute back to you. So as Tom's been talking about, how do you get on the consideration set? Meaning, how do we get in the mind to be in consideration of being the listing agent? So in geographic farming, the consideration set is so critical because, maybe their friend is a realtor, maybe the realtor who sold them their home 5 years ago, they really haven't talked to that often, but they kind of feel obligated maybe to use them. Getting on the consideration set is all about that. They're like, we should probably talk to Patrick. He did that thing for us. He's kind of the local guy. We should talk to them. See, we need to get in more appointments. And that's basically what everybody's asking me. So point number one, the law of reciprocity, doing something for the neighbors in which they feel obligated to contribute back to you. Critical. Number two is most of my coaching clients, including myself, I just give me an excuse to talk to all my neighbors, meet all the neighbors, meet all the community without having it to be a real estate conversation. When do you plan on moving? Have you guys had any thoughts of selling? We just want reasons to create relationships, to talk to people, to help, to serve, to make a difference. This is it. All we need is multiple reasons throughout the year to do something for people in the brand name of you're a realtor, but you're really a neighbor providing service. That's it. It's awesome. And it works like a charm. It's unbelievable the results that have been produced through the strategy as I've been studying it. Okay. Next is really think annual. Okay. So the problem with most people who tried out geographic farming is you did one event one time, right? I remember, and I learned this lesson. One of my great clients in Dallas, they did a shredding event and they did it one time and they're like, it wasn't that great. We didn't get anything from it. No. Think annual and then think multiple events, 4 events, 5 events, 6 events. See, if it's one of many events and it's utility and it's annual, some years people will want to do the shredding event. Some years they won't. The next year they will. See, it's just something that you put into your marketing calendar for the rest of your geographic farm life. Okay, so annual. Now let's dig into a couple of your options. Let's just think super utility basic stuff. Then we'll go into a couple other options. So utility, here's the options. Shredding event, okay? Works like a charm if it's not just one thing that you think is going to get you a listing in your farm. But if it's one of a combination, it works. Number 2, maybe the electronic waste, right? I don't know about you, but I got a ton of crap that I need to get rid of. Number 3 is junk removal. So my wife the other day said, hey, I called the junk removal guys because there's this big thing that we need to get rid of. And so why don't it just dawned on me afterwards, why didn't we just invite like 10 of our neighbors and say, hey guys, we're planning on getting the truck over. Do you have anything that they need? Orchestrate the event for people, right? A bunch of people participate. Some do, some don't. Some care, some don't. And they thank you for doing that. Junk removal, okay? Garage sales, slam dunk, prior to COVID, garage sales was insanely successful. Now, I'm not a garage sale person. Don't get me wrong. I thought this was weird. I didn't like it. And I was just like awkward by it. But I noticed when we set up a couple of ones for the first time, I was like, wow, that was really good. That actually was kind of interesting. People liked it. A lot of people showed up. A lot of people bought stuff. And so, we did it, year after year. And then I met, big shout out to Jen Tackney. She was like a massive geographic farmer. She's like, I did 3 a year in each segment of the 5 segments of my farm. And they do like 100 sales a year from the geographic farm. All they did was, garage sales multiple years in a row. And I was like, oh, shoot, that makes total sense to me, right? Like, all it was is just an opportunity for her to do something for the neighbors, do it regularly. So her brand, her presence, her charm, her fun was there. The law of reciprocity kicks in. They're like, you got to call Jen to list the house. I was like, do we really need to have this aggressive direct mail? What's the direct mail campaign that's going to get me a listing appointment? Should I call them? Should I door knock them? Let's just do utility. So shredding, electronic waste, junk removal, garage sale. Now, what's the replacement of garage sale right now? If you're like me in Southern California, I can't do the garage sale right now. Hey, but Salvation Army, what if we just orchestrated a Salvation Army truck or Goodwill to go through? Shout out to my great client who's up in Washington, who's works with a lot of veterans. There's another veteran organization that will come through, pick up a bunch of stuff. So if you orchestrated that, now, what's the most important thing with these kind of utility events? Get them to call you, get them to email you. You got to get them to kind of RSVP with you, because these have kind of a low level of engagement, and that's okay. Because if you're doing 2 or 3 of these a year, then that's perfect, because now they're just kind of seeing you, they're meeting you, they're thanking you, they're talking to you, and that's all we really needed, really. Okay, so think utility. Now, let's go to the next phase, okay? Think holiday, okay? So there's all of the different holiday seasons. So, could you orchestrate something in the community that is, holiday focused? You've got spring, summer, fall, you got the holiday season. So is there something in there that maybe you're passionate about, something that kind of happens in the community that you could orchestrate, that you can take initiative on, and that you can kind of create looking at the holiday season? Those are slam dunks, right? Next is charity, right? Charity events. So, big shout out to Nikolai Glazer in Newport Beach. And just now, he in December did a huge food drive. And this is like his 4th annual food drive. And he does this massive event, collects a ton of food, tons of people in the community participate. It's a killer experience for him, for the community. And it's just it's all around goodwill. So relationship capital. So if you think about all of our opportunities here, we could be busy all year long, making a difference, helping people, talking to people about everything but real estate as the local realtor, and you will crush it in results, right? One of my favorite geographic farmers is Dave Robles up in Glendale. One of the things he does is he does a book drive for the local library. So simple. So he does the book drive, he did the garage sale, just did the shredding event and crushed it. So, it's like, what can you do? What's happening already in the community that you can just take a hold of, be responsible for, promote it inside the community, get them communicating with you on their participation level, building your database, building your relationship capital, and then they all want to naturally figure out how to reciprocate with you, the law of reciprocity. Now, that puts you squarely on the consideration set. So when they're like, oh, our friend is a realtor, who lives way over there, but Patrick is the local realtor who's done all those things. It's so nice, right? They've helped us with all these things over the years. We have to interview them. That's what we're looking for. More listing appointments. So think about, grab the calendar right now. Let's take a look at the calendar. Let's figure out utility, right? Make some calls, trying to coordinate a couple of these things, figure out what you got to do. Maybe if an HOA, if you got to deal with that, right? Maybe you need to look at the geographic territory, look at the houses, look at the stats. Okay, so just get this thing figured out. And in 2021, if you're looking at this in 2021, let's get this mapped out and let's crush it for 2020. Everyone should have a geographic farm as one of their main pillar assets as a real estate professional. Now, I have lost huge amounts of money. I lived in 2 different communities, in a small community in Encinitas for 2 years, then in a second community in La Costa Valley, Carlsbad for 2.5 years. I didn't understand really this point. I just thought it was direct mail, and I just was uncomfortable with the whole thing. If I would have known about this strategy, I would have those 2 communities that I lived in for a short term. They would still be giving me listings right now if I would have executed this. I've lost a lot of money because I didn't understand the power of this strategy. Don't do the same. Let's get on this. In the comments below, what questions you have about events? What questions do you have? What do you do? Is there anything else I need to add to my list? Put those down in the events. For all my great Tom Ferry coaching clients, what do you do that's crushing it? And let's create a little mastermind around this so that we all have the absolute best event strategies, killing it in our geographic farms, getting us the dominant listing agents, and having a great time with it and helping people through the process. Enjoy. Have a great day.